Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again and radiating love as always. And welcome to the daily Oracle card message for today, the last day of September 2019, the 30th of September. This message, I really appreciate all of the continued support. And it is my hope that you utilize today's energies to the best of your ability so you can increase the quality of your life and increase the quantity of those blissful experiences. Let's see what we have going on for today's reading. I'm using, of course, the Answer is Simple Oracle as well as the Color Card Oracle decks. Trusting that you all had a wonderful weekend. I myself had a wonderful weekend, even though there were some challenges and some difficulties, and particularly yesterday, I actually experienced some vulnerabilities yesterday. Normally, a lot of times I kind of remain calm and laid back and, not really super reactive, but something happened yesterday with me where I just kind of felt like I was in a reactive state. But you know what? I recognize that, I'm human just like anybody else. And you know what? Things happen. It's okay. It's all learning experiences and stuff like that. But in the event, I'm trusting you all had a beautiful weekend. And we're just going to go ahead and get these cards shuffled. Let's see what we got going on today. Let's see what we have going on for the Oracle card today. There is a squirrel outside, hopping around on the ground, probably looking for something to eat, something to forage. I trust that he will find what he's looking for. And I trust that you will find what you're looking for today. If anything, I just hope it comes to you. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put that card and I'm going to cut the deck right there. And let's hop right into it. We have, wow, interesting. We have attract success and then get over it. Attract success and get over, actually it says get over yourself. Wow. So we have the numbers 1 and 7, which, come to an 8. Interesting enough, in my tarot card pull for the Instagram, so what I do for those is that I pick a random number and I count to that number. And the number I counted to was 17 because that's my favorite number. Despite the fact that for some reason it is said that 17 for me is actually an unlucky number. But you know what? I went with it anyways. And then look, I get a synchronicity. We get a synchronicity. When it comes to this scarlet energy, I do think of these, these lower chakras and stuff like that, root, sacral, even the solar plexus chakra. The scarlet card is, it looks like a portal, right? And we all want success in our life. And sometimes what we will do is that we will outsource what we truly want and what we truly desire because we feel like that's what other people want, or we feel like we want to be in a particular crowd, or we may surround ourselves with people who we believe are successful. However, we have to realize that we have our own method. And this whole getting over yourself card, you see this individual who's looking into what I'm assuming is some sort of pool of water or stream or a river, and then more than likely are in some sort of contemplative state. And this is going to be a moment today where if you really want to attract that success in your life, and success, of course, is, it's different from individual to individual. However, there is an element of having to get over yourself. And the self I'm talking about, of course, is this false self that we may try and portray and project onto our reality and onto other people because we feel like that is politically correct, or we feel like that's what's going to make us more popular. And this is Libra season, so we kind of do this automatically. But what's interesting about Libra season is that everyone likes to think that Libra season is about relationships and other people, but it is still the flip side of the other coin of Aries. So there is a lot of elements of self here. But what happens a lot of times in Libra season is that we will use our language, we use our body language, we use our actual words to project a sense of ourselves on other people, and sometimes it can come across as not genuine. It could come across as inauthentic. And I feel like today, especially with Mars, finishing up in Virgo this week, we have the Sun in Libra, we have Venus and Mercury here as well. There's definitely this sort of element of where we are trying to put on our best self. We're trying to put on our most politically correct self. And honestly, you kind of want to just disregard that, because what you're looking for here is integrity of your word and integrity of your character. And success will definitely come to those who consider and uphold and acknowledge what they truly want out of life. We have to get over ourselves. We have to move forward in such a way that, allows for the freedom of expression. And it's not even so much that, we need to have that self-worth, and we need to believe in ourselves and have that confidence. Absolutely. And we also want to instill that confidence in other people. We want to have bravery and courage when it comes to our dealings with other people, and be brave enough to, embrace other people in our life. That's another way how you attract success. It's not all about us. It's about other people. We are tribal at the end of the day. And I think what happens, especially in today's world, is that we have become so isolated in our groupings where, before we had families, tight-knit families of like 60 to 70 people, to now it's like 4 or 5. And it's like, before it was a community, and you could, of course, obviously, if you were to look at yourself in a group of 5 people versus a group of 70 people, it's a lot easier to get over yourself when you are amongst a group of 70 people as opposed to 5 people. But I think what's happening today is that the groups of people that we associate with, that we consider to be very valuable, and the quality time that we spend with these groups, since the quantity of it is so low, and yes, quality is important, but quantity is also important too. So for us to attract that success, we need to surround ourselves with like-minded individuals, spiritually inclined individuals, and we kind of do have to get over ourselves. We have to realize that it's not all about us, but to still obviously show that compassion for ourselves, to care about ourselves enough to where we acknowledge, what, this is what I want, and I'm going to go get it. And oh my goodness, it would be great to connect with other people like this. Oh my goodness, it would be great to attract my tribe, attract my vibe. Everyone's looking for their tribe. Everyone's looking for their vibe. Everyone's looking for what it is in their life and the people in their life that's really going to make them feel successful. That's going to have them wake up with, full of energy and ready to go and attack the day. And we're all looking for this. That we are deprived of this. There's a sense of scarcity when it comes to this sort of energy, but that's because we have become so isolated in our daily life and our interactions, and the quality of people that we associate ourselves with. We all are kind of, just looking into the river right now on this day. We're looking into the pool of water, and we're like, what do I gotta do to change? Like, why can't I get over this aspect of myself? We gotta remember, Chiron is in Aries, opposing all of this Libra energy. So, yes, Leo was meowing in the background. But let's see what we have going on for the dice roll today. One of them fell into the floor, and I can't really tell what it is because it's kind of landed on a weird spot. So let's go ahead and roll that again. Okay. Wow. So we have Mercury in Scorpio in the 10th house. Some of you guys may actually have this placement. Scorpio, the Mercury moves so fast, it goes around the zodiac every single year, around the entire zodiac. Mercury in Scorpio in the 12th house. This is definitely taking that integrity of our word, but also penetrating the depth of our soul. Scorpio energy, it is this sort of deep quality energy, but there's also a level of intimacy with this. And then when you take Mercury, your mind, into communication and bring it to the 10th house, 10th house is all about success. It's all about success. But what happens? Sometimes we can get too caught up in what we believe success will be, or our idea of success, or even other people's idea of success. And then we will conform our actions to meet those standards, to meet those qualities. But then sometimes we're not necessarily happy. We don't necessarily feel that fulfillment. This is talking about taking the integrity of our word. That's Mercury in the 10th house in general. Taking the integrity of our word, but also realizing that, we have emotions. We may have guards up. We may have boundaries. We may have hurts. You got to remember, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, but also Mars. And I believe that this is, what this is talking about is that, when you take that Martian-like quality of the Scorpio, when it sort of brings about this hot and cold energy. Mars is more hot, Pluto is more cold. But Pluto still, it does teach this sort of destruction and creative aspect. We have to be willing to deconstruct who we are in order to create a new version of ourselves. And then when we begin to communicate this to the world, but most importantly to ourselves, then that's how we're going to attract this success. There's definitely to this day a sort of Phoenix rising where we may acknowledge, where in our life haven't we been able to get over ourselves or get over an image of ourselves that we project onto the world and especially onto ourselves? Where have we been unforgiving? Where have we been putting up too many guards? A lot of times, a lot of the guards and the boundaries that we'll put up, a lot of the walls that we put up it's not to keep people out, it's to keep ourselves in. But there is an aspect of you, beloved, that really wants to come through and shine, and it will attract that success, but it probably will be in a rather unconventional manner. It will probably be in an unconventional manner. Why do I say this? We have Uranus that is in Taurus, and Taurus does oppose this Scorpio-like energy. So there is an aspect of you that is a little bit outside the box and outside the norm, but is this aspect of you that really wants to come through and shine and wants you to communicate that to the world. It's going to allow you to attract that success today. It's going to allow you to kind of get over yourself in certain aspects, certain facets of how you bring yourself to the world. And not that you're just dogging yourself out for being a certain way, but an honest acknowledgement and observation of how you have been acting up to this point, and how can I make this better? How can I make this better? Ask yourself that. How can I make this better? And not, like I said, that you're docking yourself out or saying that you are wrong for something. There are no errors in the universe. There are no errors in the universe. We can make changes. We can admit faults, but there are still no errors in the universe. So how can I make this better? How do I attract that success in my life? By projecting. And it's not even really projecting, it's more of like a radiating. When you're projecting, you're kind of pushing out. When you're radiating, it's just kind of coming through. Projecting and radiating are kind of two different things. So it's just about radiating who you are instead of projecting who you are. That is it for your reading today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to astrofenixx.com. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.